There's only one place to start here on Chatterbox, and that's with the epic showdown between Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker this weekend. An incredible fight. And here to join us and talk about it is David Haye.
I want to talk to you straight away about this fight. How did it go the way you thought it would?
I was unsure how it would go. If you look at Joe's fight against Hammer, this was a completely different performance in every way. His timing, his distance, his jab, more importantly, was well established straight away. He didn't rush into range. He found his way in, and when he found his range, Joe just turned the churn mode on. And I've seen that from day dot. You know, from his first fight against Ian Lewison, he's got a gear that nobody really can deal with. And it's been a little while since then, but what I saw against Joseph Parker was what I always thought he could do. He's going to be such a problem for any heavyweight on the planet.
Would you say, David, at 37 years old, Joe is an improving fighter?
I've never seen him look that good. Not in the gym, not in sparring, not in any of his fights, not even in his amateur fights, even at the Olympics. He wasn't as good as he was on Saturday night. Saturday night, he looked like a peaking heavyweight. He didn't look like he was blown. He said after the fight they could feel the pace. Well, it didn't look like it from the outside. From the outside, he looked fully within himself. You know, we had a couple of rounds where we kind of took it from, you know, full on 10 out of 10 effort to 7 out of 10 effort. But I'm sure when he's reviewed it, it all looked very comfortable within himself and like he had more gears to go if needs be. Yeah. And not only that, the shots that he took, we said, Carl said, we were laughing. He took like an overhand right. It couldn't have been any cleaner. And it just bounced off his head like it didn't mean anything. No, I think Joe Joyce now is peaking. I think he's in his peak. So the big fights, there's no reason to not make the biggest possible fights right now because I can't see him getting any better. What more could he do? How much better can he physically get? He seems to be as finished an article as he can physically be. Let him off to fight whoever there is, and you're going to be in for some fireworks.
We spoke a little bit about some of the shots that he took during that fight and the shots that didn't seem to faze him at all. Carl, I know you actually spoke to Joe about the reasons behind why he could potentially take those shots, didn't you?
Yeah, I think this is an unbelievable statistic, and I thought so. I'd heard that he's got 3 times the average bone density of the normal man, but in actual fact, it's 5 times. So there's a statistic to say if you drop Joe from a 2-story building, there'll be more damage done to the concrete than to him. He should get up and walk away. So I don't know if that's even fair. Should you be allowed to box if you've got bone density like that?
I guess the issue that Park had maybe was the engine and the fact that he did tire during the late rounds. Do you think he came in a little bit too heavy?
He was breathing very heavily, walking back to his corner after the second round. I remember thinking, that's not good. I remember me and Carl, he walked back to the corner, so we looked at each other, was like, is he blowing? He really, then on opposite, we looked around at the monitor and we had a close-up of Joyce. He looking like he was sitting on a park bench, just relaxing.